Welcome to our daily Forex market analysis, and this is for trading on October the 6th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So in terms of the news that's coming up on Wednesday, the most important thing here will be the ADP non-farm employment numbers. So these are precursors to employment numbers that come out, or the actual non-farm payroll numbers that come up that will come out on Friday. So that will be important. Other than that, we have a couple of Fed members speaking. Crude oil inventories here. So if there is a drawdown on the crude oil inventories, then we are expecting to see the price of oil go up, which means Canadian dollar will benefit from that as well. And that is it for the news. So let's go on to our charts here. All right, so in terms of the markets, we have seen a lot of back and forth right now, mainly in the stock market. And because of that, we have been seeing basically problems in the, or we have been seeing repercussions in the Forex market as well. So stock market's back up again. So we are back into the range. And as a result of that, other currencies have aligned with them as well. In terms of the euro dollar, though, we are seeing a bit of a range bound move here. So price went up, but now we are, so what we had talked about yesterday, so it has dropped from the top here. So now it's forming a range here. So we're expecting, I'm looking for a move lower towards a 1.1565. So, and in this case, it may become a range bound. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, neutral to bearish bias, and here target is a 1.1565 for euro dollar. Pound here, pound went up today. Pound has been strong today. It went up, but it still hasn't broken through that resistance level. So we have a neutral to slightly bullish bias here. If it doesn't go through 1.13, apologies, 1.3640. If it doesn't go through that, then we could see the move back down again. However, it's at an important point here. This is an important support resistance point. If it does go through, though, then we can expect a move all the way through. This big inefficient move that we had on the way down could get filled. So generally, the inefficient moves do have a tendency to get filled. So we'll keep an eye on that. At this point, neutral to bullish bias, I would watch out for the resistance level, though. If it holds below, then we're looking for a drop. Otherwise, looking for continuation here. So neutral to bullish bias. Target is, once it goes through the resistance, 1.3680 and then 1.3720. Aussie dollar here. Aussie dollar did, so it dropped initially, but then it went back up as the stock market actually turned around. So Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar are tied into the stock market. And in this case, with the stock market going up, this one has gone up. Now we do have a bit of a bullish pin bar here, but price is right into resistance. So if it goes through the resistance, then we will look for a continuation higher. And in that case, 0.7400 will be the target. However, because we are right into this resistance here, we have to keep an eye on 0.7310. If it holds below, we are looking for a move back down again. And this will be our range bound move. So neutral bias here for Aussie dollar for the time being. New Zealand dollar, this one is looking quite neutral. We do have the rate statement coming up for New Zealand. And if this Central Bank, Reserve Bank of New Zealand does raise rates, then we could see price go through. In that case, we could see a move all the way into 0.7020. Otherwise, right now, just based on technicals alone, this is neutral. And as long as it holds below 0.6980, then we're looking for a move back down. But this one, I'd be careful here because of the Reserve Bank of New Zealand rate statement that's coming up. Dollar CAD here, this one dropped right into our first target, but since then it did bounce a little bit off of that. So right now I'm neutral on this. I'm looking for retest of 1.2550. If it holds above, we are back into the range once again. And overall, we have a big range here that it could go back into. Right now, bias is neutral, looking for a retest of 1.2550. And then if it goes through, then we will look for more, for lower levels here. Silver here, silver is back into the range as expected. Now, the candle close isn't very strong. Still neutral bias here. Price is trading in a range at this point. So I'm looking for a move again between 22.85 and 22.00. So this one is still neutral for silver. Gold here, gold bounced off of the resistance, but then it bounced off of the support as well. So very similar to silver here. This is also looking neutral. We have basically looking for a move in both directions here and looking for it to stay between 1747 and then 1770. So bias here is neutral for gold as well. Oil there, oil still continuing to the upside. A lot of concerns around supply issues here. So in this case, bias is bullish. And in terms of our targets here, okay, let's take a look. We have to go all the way out. We haven't seen gas prices or oil prices at this level now. So next target here, so we are at 78.80. So 80 will be the next target here. So bias is bullish. Keep in mind price is into resistance right now where it is currently. So we'll have to watch that, but bullish bias 80.00 is the next target. Copper did drop off as expected here. Now overall though, price is still trading in a range. So we could see a further drop here towards our support level. Let's put, so the next target here is 4.08. So bearish bias here within the range for copper. Bitcoin still looking good. Now it is into resistance. So this is where price has reacted several times here. And we need to be careful with this. Overall bias here is bullish. Just be careful about the resistance. Next target will be the high of this candle here, which is 52,800. So bullish bias, but keep in mind, now we have filled this inefficient move, which means price could drop off from here. It may still go to test the high, but we are at that level. We're starting to get close to that, that level where it dropped off of, which means we could see another reaction off of that level or even the current level. So bullish bias with caution though. Next target is 52,800. All right, our stock market has been choppy back and forth here. We are still in a range. Price went all the way into the support and then bounced off, went all the way into the resistance, bounced off. Overall, still stuck in a range between 43.70 and 42.75. So S&P 500 looking range bound, so neutral bias here for S&P 500, a potential move towards 42.75 here. NASDAQ did bounce off of the support as well. This one does have room to go a little higher. So keep that in mind. It could go all the way into 14,850 and then come back. But overall, this seems to be range bound as well, starting to become range bound as well. So neutral bias for NASDAQ. We could get a move slightly higher. So we'll watch out for that. And then Dow Jones as well, looking quite range bound. It's been very, very choppy, couldn't get through the support. And here we are back again into the range here. So now we are right into the resistance. Last time price was here, it did bounce all the way back So still expecting a range bound move between 34,400 and 33,800. So neutral bias for Dow Jones. And DAX here, DAX bounced off of the resistance, sorry, off of the support, but we are right into resistance here. So bear that in mind. Price is right into a support resistance level. Now, should it go through, then we will look for 15,300. But this one, if other markets become range bound, this one can also become range bound. But it does have potential to go slightly higher into 15,300. So neutral bias right now for DAX as well. Footsie here, Footsie's right into resistance. Last time price was here, it had dropped back down. So now we are basically back still in this range here. So neutral bias. If it does go through, then we will look for a continuation move higher. But first concern would be the resistance. This is where it could get stuck. And then Nikkei here, Nikkei quite wild moves here in the last few days. We saw that decline right into the support here, and then it bounced off. Now prices into a bit of resistance here. However, it could go all the way up into 28,500. Right now, I'm neutral on this. I think we need to give markets some time to settle down here. A lot of wild moves, and what we see here is going to impact other markets as well. So right now, neutral, looking for a potential move towards 28,500. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading day, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.